Good morning. I'm Berks County Commissioner Christian Leinbach, and I want to welcome you to the Commissioners Board meeting for March the 19th. We are in person, also broadcasting on Microsoft Teams Town Hall, as well as on BCTV. We'll begin with a moment of silence, followed by a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll ask Veronica Lepore, my executive assistant, to read the public comment notice.
Good morning. Thank you. Public comment will be accepted in person and through the Q&A function. Please include your first name, last name, and municipality for all comments. Any comments without name and municipality will not be considered. Each citizen can submit one comment. Comment length is dictated by limitations of the platform being used, Teams Q&A. In-person comments will be accepted first, followed by comments submitted virtually. The meeting comment period is limited to a total of 30 minutes, including both in-person and virtual comments. This time period may be extended at the discretion of the board. Please be concise. Comments that are germane to county business will be read during the meeting and should not be considered to be interactive dialogue with the commissioners. The county solicitor shall be the final arbiter of whether a comment is germane and should be read. Any commissioner response to public comment will be done at the discretion of the commissioners.
Thank you, Veronica. Are there any additions or corrections for the March 12th meeting minutes? Hearing none, the minutes will stand as approved. We did have an executive session yesterday, March the 18th, dealing with personnel, real estate, and litigation. Do we have any public comment on specific agenda items? Nothing. Okay, and you looked online? Okay. With that, we're going to move into the first item on the agenda. This is the enactment of a county ordinance. And for this item, I want to recognize our financial advisor, Mike Vinn. Mike.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Good morning, commissioners.
Morning.
How are you doing? Before you today, as we went through on the workshop, is an ordinance for your consideration to issue up to $40 million, and that's a parameters resolution. We only are going to issue enough debt to fund $29 million worth of projects. The reason we have a higher amount is a state law requiring that we can structure the debt in the best economic ways possible for the county. But to file that with DCD, we have to have a not to exceed limit. So we always increase that amount to give us the flexibility to structure the debt on the day of pricing in the best economic terms possible for the county. But it will be issued in the amount to deposit $29 million into the county's project fund. It will be used for various capital projects of the county. It will amortize over a 20-year period. As we discussed also, just some items of note on at the workshop meeting is the county, comparatively to your peers, has a very low leverage account. You only have $68 million of total debt outstanding, comparatively speaking to neighboring counties that have hundreds of millions of dollars. So we have very low leverage. We are currently rated AAA by Moody's Investor Service. We did have a rating call with respect to this issue on Tuesday. Laura and Jen did a great job going through that. We expect that there would be no change to that. The matrix that the rating came out with, based on all the factors that they take into consideration, did not change from the previous rating, albeit we have to wait till next Tuesday to get that confirmation, and it's up to the committee. But based on the analysts' comments during the call, it would remain the same. So we'll keep you posted on that.
So one of the things, the current debt, and I'm kind of amazed that we are where we are. It's a great place to be, that if we took on no additional debt, that debt would be paid off by 2031.
Yeah, it would drop significantly, and then 37, you would be
30
totally
37,
yeah.
totally debt-free.
correct.
It's very few governments, local, state, or federal, I don't know if they'll ever be debt-free.
Yeah.
But that is a testament to our budget and finance team and our leadership team, department heads over the years. And so while we're taking on debt, and this debt is necessary because if we took the money out of fund balance, we would put ourselves in jeopardy of not having enough fund balance to maintain the AAA bond rating. Without a AAA bond rating, that would cost us a lot of money.
Correct. Yes, the two biggest strengths of the county is, like you said, the current financial position and the current liquidity position. And that includes funded pension as well as OPEB liabilities. They include that in all those liquidity calculations. And like I said, comparatively to your peers, is probably the best in Pennsylvania.
Right. And just to put it in perspective, in March of 19, when we first moved from AA to AAA, that saved us on the spot over $600,000, saved the taxpayers.
Correct.
So that's why some people have asked me, why is the AAA bond rating? You talk about it all the time. Why is that so important? It's because it saves us money. It allows us to get the best rates possible on short-term or long-term borrowing, and we're in a great spot.
Absolutely. The other item I will just mention real quick, if the commissioners decide to adopt the ordinance today, based on the upward pressure, we want to get the flexibility to get into the market as quickly as possible. If approved today, we are scheduling the pricing to lock in the rates next Thursday.
Okay.
So it would be a week before we were originally talking about, based on moving the schedule up.
Great. What is the will of the board?
I will make a motion to enact County Ordinance 01/2026.
And I'll second the motion.
The motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you
Mike.
very much, Mike. So continuing with the agenda, item 2, authorizing under that budget, adopt a resolution authorizing 2025 appropriations in the amount of $214 and 2026 transfers in the amount of $84,739 and 2026 appropriations in the amount of $374,214 per listing dated March the 13th of 2026. We have several items under Human Resources. Item 1, authorize the appointment of Jackson, is it DeCicco? With DeCicco? I figured you would know. To Assistant Public Defender 2 in the Public Defender's Office. Item 2, authorize the promotion of Tracy Evans from Administrative Assistant to Office Manager in Aging in the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. Item 3, authorize the promotion of Gregory Gerdeman from CASSP Coordinator to Deputy Administrator in Mental Health and Developmental Disabilities. And item 4, authorize the promotion of Yadira Feliciano from Office Support 4 to Magisterial District Court Operations Manager, District Justice's Office. A number of items listed under the Commissioners. Adopt a resolution authorizing the following appointments to the Berks County Alternative Dispute Resolution Panel pursuant to the agreement dated November 16th of 2009 between the County of Berks and the Department of Public Welfare. There are 3 people, Faye Fisher, Benjamin Lewis, Krista Pauley, all for a 1-year term, all ending March 31st of 2027. Item B, adopt a resolution authorizing the appointment of Jolie Malinowski, Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, to the Local Emergency Planning Committee. Item C, adopt a resolution authorizing the appointment of Daniel Montagne, Mertztown, Pennsylvania, to the Local Emergency Planning Committee. Item D, adopt a resolution authorizing the appointment of Zachary Cohn, Burnville, PA, to the Local Emergency Planning Committee. Item E, adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of the certification statement for the Human Service Block Grant Report for the fiscal year 24-25, which includes an income and expenditure report revision. Item F, adopt a resolution authorizing Palmetto Posting, Inc. to make personal service in accordance with the applicable provisions of the Pennsylvania real estate tax law and to engage in related services as fully outlined in the agreement between the county and Palmetto Posting, Inc. Item G, adopt a resolution authorizing Mitchell R. Darcourt, County Treasurer, to open a new account with Pennsylvania Local Government Investment Trust, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, for the 2026 bond issuance. Item H, adopt a resolution authorizing Mitchell R. Darcourt, County Treasurer, to execute an agreement between the Berks County Treasurer's Office and Carnarvon Township for the collection of the Carnarvon Township tax bills for a term expiring December 31st of 2027. Item I, adopt a resolution authorizing Mitchell R. Darcourt, County Treasurer, to open a new bank account with Tompkins Community Bank, Reading, PA, for the collection of real estate taxes for Carnarvon Township. Item J, adopt a resolution authorizing the Berks County Department of Agriculture's sponsorship support for Future Farmers of America programs in the amount of $250 for each of the following high schools to help fund agricultural education and student development: Brandywine Heights High School, Conrad Weiser High School, Kutztown Area High School, Ole Valley High School, Schuylkill Valley High School, Tulpehocken Area High School, Twin Valley High School. Item K, adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency project modification request for the Indigent Defense Grant for the Berks County Public Defender's officers. Item L, adopt a resolution authorizing the submission of an application for congressionally directed spending through fiscal year 27, Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Economic Development Initiative Appropriations Bill for the County of Berks Regional Youth Detention Center project. This resolution shall further authorize the Chief Operations Officer, or in his absence, the Deputy Chief Operations Officer, to execute all documents and agreements necessary to facilitate and assist in obtaining the requested funds. Adopt a resolution authorizing this, item M, adopt a resolution authorizing the submission of an application for congressionally directed spending through the fiscal year 27 Interior, Environment, and Related Agencies Clean Water State Revolving Fund Appropriations Bill for the County of Berks Wastewater Treatment Plant Equipment Modernization Project. This resolution shall further authorize the Chief Operations Officer, or in his absence, the Deputy Chief Operations Officer, to execute all documents and agreements necessary to facilitate and assist in obtaining the requested funds. Item N, adopt a resolution authorizing the submission of a water quality management permit application to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection for the County of Berks Bar Screen Project. This resolution shall further authorize the Director of Facilities and Operations, or in his absence, the Deputy Director of Facilities and Operations, to execute the permit application and all documents necessary to facilitate and assist in submitting the permit application. Item O, adopt a resolution declaring an emergency due to urgent remediation and repairs needed to address the safety and stability of the roof, ceiling, and structure of the Parks Maintenance Building at the Heritage Center, 1102 Red Bridge Road, Reading, PA 19605, as a result of a storm and wind damage on or about March 16th, 2026. Such declaration shall waive any and all requirements of procurement law and shall ratify and confirm the purchase orders issued by the Director of Contracts and Procurement and Authorization, signed by the Chief Operations Officer, or in his absence, the Deputy Chief Operations Officer, for the remediation and repairs. This resolution shall further authorize the Chief Operations Officer, or in his absence, the Deputy Chief Operations Officer, to execute all documents necessary for the remediation and repairs needed. Item 3, motion to authorize the execution of contract agreements and amendments as set forth on the contract agenda listing dated March the 16th of 2026. There are a total of 30 contracts. There's one with adult probation. There is one with the Area Agency on Aging. There's one jointly with the Berks and the County Recycling Center. There are two jointly with Children and Youth Services and Juvenile Probation. There are three with the County of Berks, one with the Commissioners, one with Facilities and Operations, 18 with Information Systems, one with the jail, and one with the solicitor. Item 4, a motion to authorize the execution of payments and electronic transfers for the week ending March 20th of 2026. Item 5, a motion to authorize the execution of employee payroll disbursements dated March the 24th of 2026.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented, but I do have a comment if we have a second.
I'll second it.
The motion has been made and seconded, and I believe you have a conflict.
I do. I have indicated to the chief clerk that I have a conflict with item number 1 with the Council on Chemical Abuse, conflict of interest, and therefore I will recuse myself from voting on that item.
Thank you, Commissioner Rivera. We will note that in the record. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. We'll move now to reports of our treasurer and controller. We'll begin with our treasurer, Mitch Darcourt.
Thank you, Commissioner. Today, we have an opening balance of $199,791,982.49. We have a balance to clear of $9,413,402.49, leaving us with a balance of $190,378,580.00. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we'll move now to our county controller, Joe Rutterow, with the controller's report. Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the week ending March 20th, 2026, we have an accounts payable and total cash disbursement of $7,764,486.89.
Thank you, Joe. And now to our Deputy Chief Operations Officer, Larry Medaglia Jr. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Stand up and be accounted for. Yes, just two quick things. One, thank you for the emergency declaration on the damage out at the Heritage Center maintenance barn. In addition, we just wanted to acknowledge the work of the facilities teams and the parks facilities folks who get out there and clean up after the mess that we had from the storm. Those guys jump right in and get to work and get everything cleaned up so our public can go out and enjoy the parks. And we just wanted to acknowledge them. So thank
And that was some serious wind. I
It was.
confirmed yesterday, the airport's top clock speed for that storm was 68 miles an hour. So pretty serious stuff. Thank you very much. And with that, we are at commissioners' reports, and we'll begin with Commissioner Michael Rivera.
Thank you, Commissioner Lineback. And continuing on the line of recognizing our employees, this past Friday, we had an employee recognition event at the North Campus. We recognized employees for every 5 years of service. We had over 1,000 years altogether. We also had someone who has been with the county for 50 years
Mhm.
and two who have been with the county for 40 years. So that says a lot about their commitment to the county and how much they enjoy working with the county and the supervisors that they work with as well. So I want to thank all our employees, especially those who were recognized this past Friday for their service to the county and to the constituents and residents of Berks County. So thank you, and thank you to all our employees who do the work day in and day out to make sure that county government continues to work and that the needs of our residents are able to be met. So this past, actually Sunday through Tuesday, all three of us were at the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania Spring Conference. Sunday morning, I attended the board meeting. We had our board meeting, went from 8 to 12, where we had some robust discussion about different items pertaining to the association. Commissioner Leinbach was with me there at the board meeting. Also on Sunday in the afternoon, I attended the Community and Economic Development Committee meeting, which I am a part of. There are discussions there around different items, but one of the things that was being discussed, there are some counties or many counties, but some of the members of the committee there that do not have community colleges in their county. They're indicating how hard they have been working to try to get a community college there. And we were talking about the benefits of community colleges. And I mentioned how blessed we are here in Berks County to have the Reading Area Community College, who does such a great job in meeting the needs of our residents here in Berks County, how they are able to move quickly to meet the changing needs of the community, as well with the trainings that they do. So just another shout out to RAC and the great job that they do here. While we have a great community college, other counties are looking to have some form of community college in their community, understanding the importance these colleges play. 5 areas of focus for the Community and Economic Development Committee for 2026 are workforce, regulatory reform, especially around the permitting time for housing and development. That was an issue that was brought up at the committee. Transportation funding, affordable and attainable housing, and recruitment and retention of young residents. We've talked about that here in Berks County, but as you can see, it's not an issue just here in Berks. It's an issue throughout the Commonwealth, where we're trying to recruit and retain younger residents to the county. And I know our 6 institutions of higher education meet on a regular basis to discuss how they can work on keeping students that come to study here, how they can keep them here in the community. That's another area talking about community colleges. RAC has a 90% retention rate of students that graduate from RAC stay here in the community. And our other institutions of higher education are looking at ways to retain students here as well. I also participated of a workshop around veterans, and they were talking about some changes coming up in the benefits process and how veterans put the applications in and how the state is going to process that to make it more efficient and streamline that process for the benefits of our veterans. They were also mentioning legislation which is out there, specifically Senate Bill 1209, which would require people who provide services to veterans that they would have to register with the state and that they would have to provide a list of free services to the veterans who are requesting services from them. They had mentioned that there are a lot of scammers out there where they charge veterans for services that veterans can get for free here at the county VA office or through the state VA office or other non-governmental agencies that partner with the state and with the county as well. So if you are a veteran or know someone who is a veteran and they are paying for services, you would want to recommend that they reach out to the county veterans office to make sure that these are not services that they can get for free through the veterans office. They also mentioned that when they look at the numbers of veterans, there are too many veterans that are unrepresented by a VSO, which is a Veteran Services Officer, which means that many veterans are just going out there and on their own or with private agencies to look for the services that they are entitled to and they should be working with a VSO through the county or through the state. So again, if you do know of any veterans, please encourage them to reach out to our County Veteran Services office. They do a great job in serving our veterans here in Berks County. Also, in the closing session of the conference, they had someone talking about the state housing study. Again, we mentioned that housing is not just an issue here in Berks County, but throughout the state and throughout the nation. And the state has put out their housing study. You can go to the website. I don't have the website here with me, but if you Google it, I'm sure you can find that. And then after the closing session, we went to visit the Capitol. I met there with different legislators and had a lunch with specifically one senator and brought up to them what the needs of the counties are. A few items that are going on today. I will be attending the Reading High School Innovation Academy ribbon cutting ceremony. I'm really looking forward to that. That's the new building that was built on 9th Street. If you've driven by it, you'll see it's a beautiful building. So looking forward to seeing what they have in that Innovation Academy, and that will be today. Tomorrow morning, all three of us will be participating from the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance State of the County Breakfast, where we will be addressing the attendees on what has been happening at the county. And tomorrow night as well, if you like the Reading Royals, tomorrow night is Mental Health and Recovery Night at the Reading Royals. So please, if you're there, stop by the SOS Berks table. SOS Berks and the Council on Chemical Abuse will have a table there. Stop by and tell them that Commissioner Rivera told them that they should drop by and say hi. And there'll be information there, important information that you can take from the table. I did mention that I would have more on the Berks 275 kickoff. I did not, because of the CCAP conference, I did not have the opportunity to get that together, but I will be presenting that not next week, but the following week after that. One other item, and I'm sure Commissioner Linebaugh and Santoni will talk on this, so I won't touch on it, but we did have a call with DHS last week, and there are some updates that we want to share in reference to the DHS and ICE facility in Upper Burn. And my last item is we do have an elections meeting today at 11 a.m. That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rivera. And we'll move now to Commissioner Dante Santoni.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a few additions to Commissioner Rivera. I also attended the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania Spring Conference in Harrisburg this past week, CCAP. Just a couple of things that I attended. I'm a member of the Elections Reform Committee. Chris Dush, the Senate chairman, the chairman of the Senate State Government Committee, was in attendance. Gave an update as to what the prospect is of moving legislation. Spoiler alert, it's not good. But we talked about. I also served on a subcommittee that talked about making changes to the CCAP policy stance on early voting. The chairman is Lisa Dealey from Philadelphia and Joe Kantz from. Where's Joe from? Western
Snyder
County. One Democrat, one Republican. It was a bipartisan group, and we're talking about trying to come up with some language that we can get to our legislative colleagues to be part of the discussion as we move forward. There is some challenges, of course, with it, so we're working through that. But it also gave an update as to what are some of the potential bills moving in the legislature. Making changes to the Election Reform Committee. It's very controversial, as I'm sure you're aware. Putting an election code bill on the floor of the Senate or the House generates a lot of controversial amendments, and not sure if the leadership is interested in doing that at this particular time. It's an election year, so we'll see how that goes. So I'll certainly keep you updated as to any movement on the potential movement on election reform legislation. Some of the breakout sessions that I attended. One on ethics. We were Pennsylvania Public and Official and Employee Ethics Act. We got a little booklet with all the responsibilities, not just for elected officials, but everyone that works for government. Mary Fox, the executive director of the Pennsylvania State Ethics Commission, was there, made the presentation, gave some examples, had a nice presentation dealing with what you can and what you can't do as an elected official in Pennsylvania. The other breakout session I attended dealt with resources available from the state. There were representatives there from the Independent Fiscal Office, Center for Rural Pennsylvania, Local Government Commission, and the Joint State Government Commission. And they were there explaining what their roles are, the information they can provide to not just the legislature, but to county government as well. It was moderated by our executive director, Kyle Kopko. And I think it's important to note that those agencies are independent of any political ramifications. So when you're looking for some kind of issue on fiscal, how much what a hit is on a budget, depending on legislation, that kind of thing, it goes to the Independent Fiscal Office, and they come up with an independent number. So those are independent agencies that provide a lot of resources for the Commonwealth. We talked about the closing. The only other thing I want to mention with regards to CCAP, because on Monday evening was the legislative, when we meet with some of the legislators, and we gave out some awards. Our state senator, Judy Schwank, was honored. Also, Scott Martin, chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee, who represents parts of Berks County, and Val Arkush, department secretary, because of their involvement, not just with all the work that they're doing at the state level, but all three of them are former county commissioners. So I just want to commend all three of them, especially our state senator here in Berks County, Judy Schwank, for the great work that they do. So we honored them at our event. I also attend the Reading High School Innovation Academy ribbon cutting today. Look forward to that. And also participating in our Department of Agriculture Reading Day. I'll be reading to a group of elementary school students at the Wyomissing Hills Elementary Center, talking about agriculture and how it affects their lives and things like that. So I did that last year. It was a lot of fun, and look forward to doing it again today. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Santoni. So a couple of items. I'm also going to start with CCAP conference. There was a lot that has already been covered. I'm not going to try to cover the same things. I do want to quickly share a video that we shared at our board meeting. Actually, I shared at our board meeting and at our opening session. This is from NACO, and it is a brief video talking about what counties do across the U.S.
We are America's counties, 3,069 strong. We are nearly 40,000 elected county leaders, essential to our nation's intergovernmental partnership, and we are powered by 3.6 million dedicated public servants nationwide. We are operators of critical infrastructure, roads, bridges, hospitals, courthouses, and more. The systems that keep America moving. We are providers of health, human, community, and mental health services, supporting families, seniors, businesses, and veterans. We are first responders devoted to safe communities, protecting our residents and responding in times of crisis and disasters. We are stewards of parks, public lands, and the natural places that define our communities. And we are America's record keepers, safeguarding vital documents, elections, and the foundations of our democracy. We are all America's counties, parishes, and boroughs. We are counties.
So as you look at that, stop sharing here. What is I find fascinating anyhow. Counties do different things in different states. You saw some counties own hospitals. I am so glad we don't own a hospital. Most counties across the country own roads because they don't have municipalities like we do. In Pennsylvania, very few counties own any roads. We have two, Swiftwater Lane and County Welfare Road. But the purpose of the video is just really promote how connected county government is to what happens every day in the lives of Americans all across the United States. In addition to that, some of the other things we talked about, the status of the surface transportation bill in DC. The current bill will expire the end of September. Right now, the expectation is that a new bill will not be in place by the end of September. We don't know how long it will take, but historically, since 2000, no bill has been passed on time. They've averaged anywhere from 2 continuing resolutions to get to a final bill to as many as 11 continuing resolutions. We had a significant discussion around data centers. York County has already created sample municipal ordinances for the municipalities in York. The big issues around data centers are power and challenging data centers to provide their own power. Water is an issue, although it's becoming a little bit less as more and more data centers are being air-cooled versus water-cooled. But if they're water-cooled, they need to be a closed-loop system. Buffers were a big discussion. There are 2 types of buffers, one having to do with zoning. What's the setback from another zoned area, and what kind of zoned area will you allow data centers to be against? Will you allow it up against a residential or institutional, to where you may have churches or schools? Making sure that those setbacks are significant. And then physical buffers, plantings of trees and vegetation, but also looking at structural buffers similar to what you see along highways, where you have the high concrete buffers impacting the level of sound coming from the highway to the residents in those areas. Also focusing on rules around sound and vibrations. Primarily, the sound and vibrations are tied to the air-cooled fan systems and are very important. And for the first time, some discussion around decommissioning. And there's 2 aspects to decommissioning. Data centers are not like warehouses. Warehouses can have a lot of uses. You look at Route 73 and 61, a lot of people thought when that went up that was a warehouse. It's actually right now our trailer manufacturing. It's going to have manufacturing. It's finished, I believe, now, and distribution out of that, what looks like a warehouse. It has docks. It's very flexible in its use. Data centers are not designed. They have no docks. They're pretty much a closed-in building with some doors and filled with computer equipment. So one is the question of what happens when you come to end of life. There's discussions around requiring bonding for data centers. And 2, and this is an issue I've started to raise, there's a very strong possibility that we may see a generative AI bubble. And we need to make sure if any of these companies putting these enormous data centers, and these are generative AI data centers in our community, that if they go bankrupt, that doesn't fall on the local community. And again, proper bonding is probably the proper answer to that challenge. Also, we had a joint meeting of the Technology Committee, which I've just joined, and EELU, Energy, Environment, and Land Use. And we heard from a lady that works with PJM. PJM is the electrical grid that serves this part of the United States. Very interesting discussion. As recently as 2020, there was significant excess power on the grid. Today, there's a shortage of power on the grid. And there's some real challenges. There's a lot of different things that are affecting that. But right now, electric power generation is currently inadequate in Pennsylvania. And some of the electric generation that's going online, like 3 Mile Island, is already all committed to Microsoft for generative AI. One of the things that is impacting the infrastructure are weather events. They're more frequent and they're more serious and have had pretty incredible impacts on the grid and some of the challenges. That was also discussed in light of the generative AI data centers. To put this in perspective, there are other data centers, and by data centers, just a direct link up at the airport, the old MedEd GPU building is a data center, but not a generative AI data center. It's back office, banking, so forth, 17 floors underground. But these generative, and those data centers take 50 to 100 megawatts of electricity. The new data centers average around 1,000 megawatt of energy demand. That's comparable to the city of Pittsburgh. So when you say it's important, if you're going to bring a data center, is going to come into a community, and there's at least one under consideration right now. I think there's 2 others being talked about here in Berks County. Having them provide for their own power is very important. We've never seen this kind of growth in electric demand in the history of this region, possibly the country. In our technology committee, we also talked about legislation that is being worked on in Harrisburg. I think I referenced this before because Senator Tracy Pennycook spoke before the chamber, the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance, about some of this legislation, but dealing with AI-generated images that are pornographic, especially child pornography, also dealing with deep fakes. And right now, there's very little law around that, and something has to be looked at. CCAP and Pennsylvania are working on what is called an AI collaborative, looking at county use of AI for all counties. They should have a report ready around the end of April, definitely no later than our conference in August. And 2 other things I want to touch on. One, early this week, I had a conversation with Congressman Muser regarding the proposed ICE facility in Upper Bern Township. I want to make my position as clear as I can. I am not anti-ICE. I am not anti-law enforcement. Berks County has had a good relationship with ICE through our warden, through our sheriff, through our district attorney and the courts since before I've been here. Most people have been even unaware that they have been working with the county in the criminal justice system. Secondly, for many years, we had the Berks County Residential Center that the county of Berks operated. I was proud of the way that we operated it in spite of the accusations made by protesters against it. My concerns around the facility proposed for Upper Bern Township are the impacts on the community, the financial impacts, over almost $828,000 of lost taxes annually between Upper Bern, Hamburg, and the county of Berks. These are not taxes that we were hoping to get. These are taxes that have been paid for the last several years and budgets that have been built on that. Number 2, the impact relative to the infrastructure in that area, the infrastructure of sewer and water. Water is there is no public water available there. There's a small sewer plant, Upper Bern Sewer Authority, and infrastructure as it relates to first responders. Upper Bern has no local police. They rely on state police. They have one volunteer fire company. I've already provided information to the congressman and DHS on what a tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 or severe response would require for that particular facility. It's proposed as a processing center. It's proposed to have about average of 1,500 people, which would double the population of that area. And it is right behind the Amazon warehouse, which already has caused significant congestion of traffic at changes of shifts because of the hundreds of employees at Amazon. They're right next door to each other. The last meeting that we had, I believe it was last week, was both Schuylkill and Berks County on the call. And I've already had this discussion with Commissioner Pedora on Monday evening from Schuylkill County. I understand Schuylkill County has concerns about their proposed facility. I think it's over twice the size of the facility in Upper Burn. But in that call, about 70% of the call was taken up with comments from Schuylkill County. I reached out to Congressman Muser and said, Congressman Muser, we need a call that's just focused on Upper Burn, with Upper Burn officials, Hamburg School District officials, and county officials. He's agreed to that. He's working to schedule that. When I talked to Commissioner Pedora on Monday evening at the CCAP conference, he let me know that they have requested the exact same thing because it gets confusing which one you're talking about. They're different numbers. Theirs is 7,500 people. Theirs is a detention center where people could be there 30, 40, 50 days. Ours is a processing center where it's supposed to be several days to 5 or 6 days. So that's where we are right now. We need to make sure that the fiscal side is taken care of. The other side that both counties have requested is the right of the county to have access to the facility to ensure humane treatment. We have an obligation to be able to look people in the eye and say, I'm confident, just like I did many, many times with the Berks County Residential Center. My confidence was based on my experience and what I saw, also having a chaplaincy program there, also having the Berks County Intermediate Unit there on site. Last thing I will say is the facility, both of these facilities are adult only. There are no families, no children. That's what we're told. So we've committed to keep you up to date, and I wanted to give you the latest information. I do not have a date on when our next call will be. What I will be asking for in that call, they already know the requests. I want ICE, DHS to provide some form of an agreement to us in writing so that we can look at what it is that they're proposing. They've talked about some ideas, but we have nothing in writing at this point in time. And I think it doesn't matter who you're dealing with. It's not that it's ICE. If you're dealing with a neighbor and you're going to do something together, the best thing to do is to get it in writing so both sides know what it is that you're agreeing to. Last thing, tomorrow I will be reading at the Tilden Elementary School for agriculture in the classroom. I enjoy doing that each year and going to be doing that again. That completes my comments, and any comments from our row officers?
I don't have anything at this time.
Just wanted to mention that I had the opportunity for BC TV County Connections to interview Dan Rowe with the Parks Department, Jess and Lisa. They did a great job, so that'll air at the beginning of April. I encourage people to tune in because they gave some great information of things coming up with the parks, especially given the America 250 and some of the other events they're planning. So just wanted to mention that.
Great. Thank you very much. With that, we'll go to public comment. We have one person listed in person, Pastor Evelyn Morrison. If you could step to the microphone, give your name, your municipality, and you have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much, and happy spring to all of you. I'm just here to share with you. I did send you a request of the DA. I'm here representing the family of the Travell Martin family. And they wanted to be able to write a letter to Honorable John Adams to ask for a reopening of the case. It was determined when they found the skeleton remains that it was undetermined. So both the forensic anthropologist and also Dr. Neil Hoffman says it was undetermined, the manner and cause. Recently, I accompanied the family to the location, and there was some things that needed to be addressed. So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have the district attorney to open up the case. Yesterday, I got a lot of calls about naming the people that were there. And I asked that if we were there for that reason, then why did people want to be anonymous? And I didn't see the need for that. So as you see in your letters, is basically the people who were there with the family. So I don't think we need to redact them. And I've also got a letter in text that says, if I don't redact their name, that they would have legal charges, things like that. And I'm saying, wait a minute, we're there for the family because they had a issue. And you found that the mother addressed you just last year, I think it was, and she came to share with you what was happening. And so you had a heartfelt response to her. And now she's still at a point where she's unable to get her head around why they cannot find the reason for his death. There was a lot of things in the coroner's report that was totally
Is it time?
unnecessary. So I just wanted to share that with you
Sure.
because I know when I spoke with John yesterday, his response was, that's not going to happen. So I wanted to share that with you. And I believe that the public needs to know what really happened. So thank you
Thank
Thank
you
you very
very much, Evelyn. We do have 2 online. The first one, make sure I get them in order here. Yes, is Lisa Gallagher, Spring Township. I'm greatly concerned about the warehouse in Berks County. Yes, the fiscal losses are significant, but I feel like the focus equally needs to be on the human side and community safety. If this warehouse opens in November or December of this year, that will also bring ICE to our streets. It's only reasonable that they would descend on our county and work on detaining people in the radius of the warehouse itself. ICE is still breaking car windows. They are still leaving cars abandoned and sometimes still running on public streets. They are still detaining U.S. citizens, those with green cards, visas, and working papers alike. I, for one, do not want this in Berks County. And then Agnes Tillis, Reading, PA. Thank you, commissioners, for your attention to the ICE warehouse matter. I'm sure 3 such handsome and intelligent men will be able to help clear this up. I'm not sure where they are. I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of us. Thank you for your work for our county and looking so good while you do. Wow. That might go in the record books as one of the kindest online or in-person statements that I've seen. We have one more in person, and it's Alex Darlington, Muhlenberg, topic sample ordinance. And you know the drill, Alex?
Yes. Hello, Alex Darlington from Muhlenberg Township. I just wanted a quick point of clarification. So previously you discussed about sample ordinances were available in York. Are those available for municipalities to be used?
Yeah. Go ahead, say whatever you need
Right.
to say, and then I will comment.
Okay. The reason I ask about this is because during the town hall in Birdsboro, there was a discussion about legal complication regarding if counties can provide sample ordinances to municipalities. And the reason I think it would be important for that to be available is for regarding things such as data centers, because rural townships in Pennsylvania do not have the fiscal resources to create a high quality, good ordinance to fight against developers, especially since Pennsylvania is a right to develop state. So I just wanted a point of clarification of
Sure.
what the parameters of that are.
So that closes our public comment period. As always, we have the ability or right, if we'd like to comment. I'll comment on two items. I'll start, Alex, with yours. There are actually several counties in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that do that at the planning level. Our legal, and I'm going to be revisiting this again. I just had a conversation last week with Ashley Showers. I think it's something we need to dig into a little bit deeper. The concern from legal was liability on the part of the county. What I've seen so far is that the way they're presented is that they are sample ordinances and that any liability for implementation is solely on the municipality. They have the obligation to do the research and do the work to make sure that that is appropriate for their municipality. But again, I shared that in the context. That's what York County shared with us. Again, as part of the technology EELU joint committee meeting, and that was on Sunday afternoon. So it's something I think we're going to need to look at. Hopefully Ashley can reach out to some of her colleagues. I think Montgomery County has done sample ordinances as well in other areas. We'll look at it again. So Evelyn, Reverend Morrison, our hearts go out to any family that loses anyone in their family. I don't care if it's a child, a parent, a brother or sister. But I think, we have no ability to reopen anything. That would be the district attorney's prerogative. And you did the right thing in going to talk to John Adams. But again, that's something that we just don't have the ability to do. Any comments from my colleagues? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
The meeting is adjourned. We'll begin, and we're going to just stay right here.
We'll stay right here, begin in 2 minutes with the election.
Okay.